jumping right into another video. Iowa Retro Gamer Dad here. Alright. Anyways, guys, what is up? Today I want to talk about FOMO. What is that? Slow-mo FOMO? No, give it up. You'll never be a rapper. Okay, guys. So, FOMO is a fear of missing out. So, to spell that out for you, which I just did, that is just the anxiety of and the fear, just being scared of missing out on something. And specifically, what we're going to talk about today is apps themselves. So we have these auction sites, we got these buying sites, we have all these things going on nowadays. Online sales are king, and it's kind of funny just thinking about this, but now since we have eBay and all this stuff, I really don't see actual auctions as much as I once did. I see the occasional one in this area. Obviously, you guys in the bigger cities probably see them all the time, but here in small town Iowa, we don't see them as much. But what does FOMO got to do with these sites, guys? Well, I've recently started diving back into Whatnot occasionally. As a lot of you know, I've kind of moved from retro game collecting, and me and my son have kind of got into sports cards collecting, you know, specifically foosball. But what we noticed was we were using TikTok for a while to kind of just watch breakers. And if you're unfamiliar with breakers, they just basically buy a bunch of boxes of sports cards. You can buy teams, you can buy certain divisions and stuff like that. And then instead of, you know, spending thousands of dollars on a box yourself, you can specifically look for the cards you want, whether it be just a team or anything like that, or you just want to collect, but you just want to hit the wheel or something like that, you know. So we started watching these, and as we were doing these videos more and more, I noticed that I was like, oh, they got a bunch of these on Whatnot. So I dove down that rabbit hole, guys. And just kind of a past history with this, I know I had a video a while back that did really good talking about FOMO and Whatnot, you know, Encore, Goodies. I can't remember some of the other ones that popped out that a lot of YouTubers were pushing. It's kind of nuts, guys, especially Whatnot. I remember when that first came out, it was not taking off like really fast, and then now it's huge. Like, it's insane. Like, I'm watching, you know, seeing videos, stream auctions popping up all the time now that I didn't see days before, and they've already got a huge following. It's just nuts how this stuff's going on. It's basically eBay, but with video, if you're unfamiliar with it. And for a lot of people collecting, especially me personally, I have, you know, I deal with anxiety and everything like that. So FOMO is very, very big for me. I get very anxious that I'm going to be missing out on something, or that I'll never see it again. And that, like I said, it's huge. It's huge for me. So a lot of times I will install apps like this, catch myself kind of getting a little too crazy, and uninstall them. But lately I've been trying to, you know, set rules and boundaries for stuff like this so I don't get out of hand. Specifically lately, it's just been, I've been just kind of chilling on streams, just basically watching the pack ones. When people, you know, like the super expensive rare packs and stuff that I would never be able to afford, and if I did, I'd probably get my wife would probably divorce me. But you know, like $300-400 packs, and just seeing what, you know, cool stuff pops out of them. And instead of, you know, going into my neck of the woods, my little $1 starting bid auctions, and then being afraid of, you know, not be a fear of missing out on a game, our card that's worth $6, and paying $3 for it or something, you know, like that. Just something that's kind of how it like goes. Like, so I will see, like, let's see here, we got a Rome Adunze kind of blue card right here, and you know, I think it was only worth like $4 or $5 or something like that. But seeing a card like this going for like $1, a lot of people will be like, oh, I'll never see that card again for $1, or I'll never see it again for $2, and it's worth double that, so I better get it, you know. So then they'll swipe right, you know, get the auction bid on there or whatever. And then yeah, you get the card, you're like, yeah, I got it, and then like that, just literally just threw it. It gets put into a tote, it gets put into a book, it gets put into God knows where, and then you're just sitting there like, oh man, that was such a great purchase. I got such a great deal, and unless you're a huge Roma Dunze collector, it's just gonna get stuffed away. And even if like, so we talked about in the past with games where sometimes certain consoles themselves take off and are very expensive, so people pay more more for it. And then a year later or so, say like that football player craps out, and that card's going to be worth nothing. Let's say a few years later, the GameCube they start losing interest in it and start going into Wii games, which I would never in the world expect to see. But then those GameCube games that you just bought, paying what was at the then price, normal, but you thought it was a good deal because of FOMO, you just lose a bunch of money. Now, I know when you're collecting, value shouldn't be the biggest factor, but when we're talking about FOMO specifically in apps like these, a lot of times value is what is brought up. Nobody likes to overpay. Everybody likes to get a good deal, especially if it's a hobby that you are very passionate about. It's huge, guys. We all know that. But specifically, like I said, so we'll get into we talked about the dangers. And sometimes too, you just really like, let's say you had a cup of coffee or two or an energy drink, and you're just really extremely pumped, and you just get jittery, and you're just like, oh, I kind of want this, I don't know for sure, I kind of want this, and then you just place a bid and pay retail for something, or overpriced. Like, that was one thing. So I heard a lot of people telling me before they were getting all these great deals from Whatnot on video games, retro games specifically, and stuff like that. They were telling me the prices they were paying, and I was pulling it up on price charting, and I didn't want to be that guy and be like, you didn't get a good deal, man. You paid price charting. That's not really a good deal. That's what everybody else is paying on eBay and stuff like that. So I'm sorry, bro. You can advertise or you can brag about getting a good price, but you got, if anything, a baseline price. So, but a lot of times, though, what I heard from, sometimes I shouldn't say a lot of times, but there's a few times the conversation was brought up, yeah, well, I bought it from so-and-so's YouTube channel, so it's worth more to me now. And, which I get. I mean, don't get me wrong, back when I was huge on trying to get big on YouTube and trying to scowl whatever ways I could do it, try to give donies to people thinking that they actually care about the channel or whatever, trying to get in with these bigger channels to think that if I do this will make me get bigger and they'll collab with me more. It just didn't work out. It wasn't. So that's why a lot of times after a while I was like, buying stuff, shirts or something for my friends, or specifically being channel members on their sites, because it was just wasn't working out that way. But yeah, I bought it from so-and-so's YouTube channel. It was kind of a pusher I heard every once in a while, which is just kind of like hearing somebody say, I bought so-and-so's underwear, some celebrity's underwear from so-and-so's movie. It's used. I guess it doesn't matter really much with video games, because you still get to enjoy them, you still get to play them, but it just, and like I said, don't get me wrong, I can see the added value in somebody famous or somebody you consider famous owning something, because let's face it, that's kind of cool to think that, hey, so and so owned this, or getting a signature a while back when Gabo collected his NES set, and I think he was selling some of it. Would have been awesome to get one of his NES games and have him sign it or something and then ship it to me. Yeah, that'd be awesome, because I love his channel and I enjoy his content. But would I pay a bunch of extra money for it? Probably not. A lot of times the only way I'll pay extra money for stuff like that is if it's for charity, essentially. So I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore, guys. I want you to comment below. Do you suffer from FOMO with apps? Do you keep yourself away from these apps? Or are you currently suffering because you do this? I know that in the past it's gone through waves with me where I do very good for a while and then I kind of get sloppy and I start doing a little bit more spending. So I want to know if you guys experience the same issues, and if so, how did you combat it, or do you just deal with it? So that being said, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate to have you guys here. This community is amazing, and I'm so thankful for all you guys. I love this channel, and I love my community. So with that being said, guys, as always, stay retro, my friends. We'll see you in the next video, guys. God bless.